So, you've probably been losing a lot of wrestling matches and you don't know why. Now, this is the stuff that I lost the most wrestling matches of my life to, just from being an idiot and not knowing. I'm going to bless you guys with this list that I had to learn by myself. These are the worst things to do in a wrestling match, alright? The first one, I didn't have to learn by myself, but you learn pretty early on. Like, if you do this, you are immediately seen as the bad guy and you're immediately a dick. I've never personally done it. I don't know, I've had the thought to do it, but never did it. And that's purposely injuring your opponent. If you know jiu-jitsu, if you know anything, follow the rules, beat your opponent fair and square. Within the confines of wrestling, you can beat the shit out of someone. Like, you can really mess someone up. So you don't need to, like, go to illegal stuff, like doing illegal slams and illegal key locks, like a Kimura, or like whatever it is, like, you know what I mean? You don't have to, just because you're angry that you're losing, you don't have to try to injure someone. I've seen people injure someone purposely, maybe twice in my life. And it always ends so badly for the person that injures the other person. It's like 6-week suspension, you're booted from the tournament, you look like an idiot, you look like such a dick. It's just such bad news. You should never try to injure an opponent. That isn't within the confines of a wrestling match, alright? If it's not within the rules, then don't do it. If it's an accident, then it's an accident. But don't do it on purpose because you're mad. The next thing is stepping backwards. At any point in your match, if you're stepping backwards, you're in negative position, right? You are in bad position. If your opponent is like pushing you and you can't handle it, then you circle around him. You shuffle around him, maintain a good stance. You don't walk backwards, you don't walk out of the mat, because that's what losers do. That's what wrestlers who lose do. Number 3, okay, letting someone touch your legs. This took me so long to understand, but like, if someone else is touching your legs, then you are in bad position. Does that make sense? You want your legs to touch them, you want your legs to be used for control, but if they're touching your legs, then you're in bad position. Number 4, reaching backwards while on bottom. So if you're on bottom and someone's on top of you, let's say they got a leg in, there's someone on top of me across my back, the absolute worst thing that I can do, me just being like, hey, just put me to my back, is reaching behind and trying to grab his head and yank him forward. Right? That is the dumbest thing you can do. Because if he lets go of this far leg, then you are giving him a half. You're like, oh, here's a half. You can just turn me right now. You know what I mean? Never reach backwards. Never reach backwards. That is so bad. Number 5, standing up straight. If your legs are ever locked out straight and you're standing up, like if your legs are ever locked out, for the most part, unless you're like putting pressure into someone, if you guys are no contact and your legs are locked out, then you're in bad position, right? You're open to getting shot at, you're open to getting your ankle picked, you're open to getting like a lot of stuff done to you, right? A good position is low center of gravity, low hips, your chest is higher than your hips. The leverage you have is very important. And the last thing that took me forever to learn is staying on your knees, all right? So after you shoot a shot, there's a split second where your knee touches the ground, right? And this is so that this is for your level change, right? This is how most people teach it. Like, you shoot knee first, and like that's how you do your level change. Well, your knee should be on the ground for as little time as you can manage. As little time as you can manage, because that is supposed to be popping right back up and blowing through him. It's supposed to create more momentum. If you're deciding to shoot on someone, then like you need to commit fully. You have to fully commit, because if you don't, then the odds of you eating shit raise exponential. The less confident you are with your ability to get from point A to point B, you can't wait. You have to, everything that you do has to happen in one motion. They teach you things in steps, but you have to do it all in one motion. If you guys like that video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. My giveaway ends tonight at midnight. I'm gonna pick the winner tomorrow. I'll put the link to the video in the bottom, but until next time, I'll see you guys. Peace.